Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. You know those paper stacks that you have and you just don't know what to do with, and half of them you don't like, and you don't know how to figure out a way to use them up and do it in a way that you like them? Well, I had these paper stacks. This one is called All Dressed Up, and some of the patterns were a little bit, I don't know, off. And then I have this one that I did like. It was called the Pink Navy. This one I got at Hobby Lobby. I did like this one, but again, didn't have a lot of uses for it. And then I had some fillers, like some glittery, silvery, shiny paper. So what I did was I thought I'll make up a set of cards that I can give to somebody, and using those and my AliExpress dies. Now I bought 3 dies that all work together. They're in here somewhere. They're there. And they're these 3. Let me get out I already cut this so you wouldn't have to wait through that. This is the set. They didn't come as a set. I bought 2 from one vendor and 1 from another. I'll make sure to link the information below because I know it's hard to find this kind of stuff. But these are them. And they all work on top of each other like that. Whoops, sorry. Like that. And they come out really cool as a trio. You can use them as 2 or 3. I'll show you the ones I already made, and then we'll go through and make one ourselves. This one is a thank you card, and it uses up not only the paper, but here's one that I just punched out. You can see it got used the thanks at the bottom, so I have really almost no waste at all. So that's the first one I did. And then I made the card with the punch outs that came out of these little die cuts. I made decorations for on my envelope with. I thought that made it a little bit more interactive and fun. And then this one, I used that silver foil as a layer in it. I really thought it was fun and interesting looking. Happy birthday. And then again, same thing with the envelope. I used 2 of the sets of die cuts for on the envelope. Then this one I stamped with my peg stamps, and those are Wacky Flowers and Delicate Fern. I thought they were really pretty. And then I used these purpley blue beads on it, and I thought that really set it off. And then the Get Well on the inside is really large, and that was fun. And that's I think it's a Lawn Fawn die. Then I did Thinking of You. This is the only one that kind of curled, and I don't know why. I think it's because this one I used some wet glue on, and the others I didn't. This time I used the cutouts and just put some accents on it. Same as the inside. It says Thinking of You at the bottom. Then I decorated the envelope as well, front and back. Then the pink one, I did the same thing. And then I put Happy Birthday, and I cut out the Happy Birthday. That took a long time. I don't recommend you doing that because it does take a very long time to do. So our last one we're going to do is with the pink and navy paper that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I cut them so they go like, I gotta do it backwards. I get confused. I tried to alternate color. Like if one was all blue, then I alternated it so that the blue and red were on alternating layers. And I'm going to put it on a navy blue background. So this is an 8.5 inch long by 5.5 inch tall card base. We're going to put it on like that. And I've been using my Cricut. If you don't remember the Cricut, it's the really lovely glue that I got from AliExpress that's teeny tiny. Hold on for a second. I'm getting my scrap paper out here so I can glue them all together. Here's what I've been using to glue them together. The Cricut, if you don't recall. It hides in the palm of your hand. It's lovely. You can buy these at the Dollar Tree now, in case you're interested. I'm just trying to get rid of the ones I have. And how I did this is I used a scrap paper underneath, and I went around, I kind of went across the top of my paper, everywhere there was a big section that I could run the Cricut on. Tape runner. I don't want anybody to go out looking for a Cricut, because there isn't well, there are Cricuts, but this is not clearly a Cricut. Hopefully this one has glue in it. This one is a AdTech permanent tape runner. And again, I'm just going across the top and the sides just to make sure that they all lay at each other. This one's really sticky. Okay. Then you take your next layer and line it up really well. I found that if I lined up the bottom right corner and the right side, I had the best luck. Now you'll still have a little bit of overlay, I'll call it. Oh, there's another color that just came out. But that doesn't bother me because it's easy to cut out. Then I'm going to take the top one. This time, it's easier when you have that really little thin die cut. It's easier for me to put my glue on the layer that's below it. And then again, I'm going to go between the layers like that, so that hopefully I don't have a big glue ball. This is very sticky glue, let me tell you. Across the bottom, across the top. Let's see if I got that edge. Yes, I got that edge. I got both edges. Now I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm done with all of those for now. And then again, you're going to line it up with your side. Like that. Now this one you can really see a lot of that glue in between the lines, so I'm just going to kind of rub it out. And if in the end you have a little bit of glue left that you don't like, what I'd recommend you doing is taking your little cornstarch pouch and that you use for embossing, or your embossing buddy, or whatever you call that thing that you use when you're doing embossing. I'll show you my little bottle. You just take this and kind of go over it, and that gets rid of the rest of your sticky stuff that you have in there. And so that when somebody touches it, it's not going to be all tacky and yucky. Okay, after you've gotten rid of your glue that you don't like, you know, that you see in between, you're going to go around the edges, and anywhere that you can see a layer that's beneath, I just trim that down. It only takes you a second to do this. It's not like this is really labor intensive. You can usually whip out a couple of these cards in no time, so if you need some fast cards, I think this is a really good way to do it, and you get rid of your papers that aren't necessarily as fun as you want them to be, or don't work for your projects. So then I'm going to lay it like that on this. So again, back to the big sticky tape runner. At least now when you do it, you're not going to have as much open space, so you shouldn't have a lot of that sticky coming through. I'm just trying to go between the lines. I don't know if you can see that. Then I'm just going to center it like that. And back to, I've got some spots I just need to rub some glue out of. I'm going to rub over it again with the cornstarch just to make sure that we get all that sticky off. We don't want anybody to get their hands stuck to the card. Alright, now that you've done that and you like the way it looks and you've gotten rid of your extra sticky stuff, the next step is we're going to put our thanks that I cut out in pink in the inside. Now I'm going to use wet glue for this because I find putting die cuts on with wet glue is easier than with the dry. Now you might be somebody that likes to keep little teeny tiny scraps of extra paper. I'm not into that. I acquired way too much if I do that. And then I'm going to just let that set for just a second. While that's drying, I'm going to get some of these. Okay, this is just from 2 cards, the amount of, I'll call it debris that I got. And so I want to pick out the flowers that match this particular project. So I'm just going to put glue on my underneath flower and then line up another flower on top like that. And then do this one real quick and we're almost done. And because this is going on the envelope, I didn't put any third layer on it because I didn't want to have it stick up too high, but I did want to have some decoration on my envelopes. I think the inside of the card looks really nice. Here's the outside. Now on the outside I'm just going to use some of these. These are on a long string, or a long, let me go from this side. They're on a long strip of glue, and I'm not crazy about that, so what I do is I cut as close to the edge of that as I can so that I can get rid of that weird edge. Oops, glue on that. And then all we're going to do, trying to get everything in frame so you can see it. Oh, just that shoot everywhere. This is a jewel picker that I got. I thought I got it from Amazon. Okay, there's my last one. So that's my last one. I like the way these come out. I hope you do too. I hope you'll give your paper stacks another look and use your dies in a different way and come up with some, I think it kind of looks like a quilt kind of. Hope you enjoyed this and you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.